We spent a lot of time telling you about companies that can survive and even thrive during the time of coronavirus. But there's an elite group of these COVID-19 winners that almost seem like they were made for this exact moment. Take a company called Everbridge that we've been talking about. It's a software as a service company that's in the critical event management business. They help public and private organizations automate and accelerate their responses to horrible situations. Hey, think terrorist attacks, natural disasters, a pandemic. Now, Everbridge just reported an amazingly strong quarter for the close today, delivering a big earnings beat on higher than expected sales, up 38% year over year. Even better, at a time when many other companies are pulling their guidance, these guys actually raised their full-year forecast. That's incredible. Okay, they're not profitable yet, but they're predicting just a 16 to 19 cent loss for 2020, down huge from previous forecasts called for 75 to 70 cent loss, 77 cent loss, because they're in the right place. Yeah, we already got a big win in the stock. It's run from just under 90 when we first recommended it in January to 112 as of today's close, even though the market's been down. But can it keep climbing? Let's dig deeper with David Meredith. He's the CEO of Everbridge to get a better read on his quarter and where his company's headed. Mr. Meredith, congratulations on a great quarter and welcome back to Mad Money.
Hey, Jim, thanks for having me. It's great to be back on the show.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so you've done a lot of great stuff lately. And one of the things that I'm really interested in hearing about is this return-to-work software solution, because it's very much dovetails with what Mark Benioff talked about yesterday with return-to-work. And you even talk about contact tracing. And how do you help a company if I bring you in for Everbridge return-to-work?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I really want to talk about that. I first want to just say thank you to our first responders, our frontline healthcare workers, and all the essential workers out there. You know, we've got almost all of our employees working remotely now, but not everybody can do that, and they're sacrificing for all of us. We appreciate all those workers, and we're supporting about 3,700 first responder organizations, 1,500 healthcare, New York City, Florida, California, Connecticut, Vermont. And I can tell you our state and local government officials are working around the clock to try to keep their people safe. And just a lot of respect and appreciation. To your question, and thanks to you, by the way, Jim, because you and CNBC have been out in front on educating the public on the coronavirus from day one. And you're doing a great job. So thank you. To your question on the return to work solution that we launched today, we have three major customer segments for this. First are businesses. So if you're a business right now, say you're a multinational and you're trying to go back to work and you've got offices in multiple countries and multiple cities around the world, you've got different guidelines. In some places, you may have to take a temperature when they come in. Other places might have an immunity pass, they call it, if we end up having such things. You've got different guidelines, different rules. You've got to keep track of all that. You've got to keep your people safe. You've got to keep your operation running. And you've got to keep your supply chain running at a time where there are disruptions happening right now. We've got an enterprise-wide system and a platform that will manage all that for you in a digital manner, digital transformation. And that does include contact tracing. So we're already integrated now with 225 out-of-the-box system integrations, including things like your physical access controls in the building, your calendaring systems, your visitor management, your travel systems. So we have a mobile app and other ways we can communicate to do wellness checks with the employees. So if someone has symptoms or someone find out has been exposed, we're able to very quickly use our system to find out who else that works at that company have they been exposed to over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well,
and then very quickly can drive isolation protocol, manage all the communication for that very quickly. I think it's really important to point out we need a vaccine, we want a vaccine, but until we get it, we've got to leverage technology to keep people safe and get back to work as best we can.
Absolutely.
Now, on the government side, we're doing some really exciting work. The country of Norway is one example. We get to work with countries all around the world and look at all the different use cases. Norway is doing, their metrics are about 10 times better than a lot of the other European countries. Part of what they're doing is...
David, I think that the Vermont initiative, where your legislators and lawmakers adhere to COVID-19 social distancing, is really very hot button here in our country right now. What you're doing in Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont it's amazing what they did. So the legislature in Vermont, for the first time ever, are doing social distancing and remote voting. So they're keeping their staffers safe, they're keeping their legislators safe, and they've been able, in a secure, compliant, and fast way to manage dozens of critical votes, a lot of them about coronavirus and keeping people safe. And I think you can look at the U.S. Congress, you can look at a lot of other legislatures across the country, and I think it's a great best practice that Vermont's been doing. We've worked with Vermont for years at the statewide level. We've worked with their state police, and now we're really honored and excited to be supporting their legislature with that social distancing.
One last question. What do you do for Shopify, which is about to report?
So we got a bunch of great new logos we added last quarter. Shopify is one of them. Again, they're using the system to keep track of their people, coordinate communications with them, help them get back to work. And that's a deal we just closed in the last quarter. A couple of other big deals we just won. Bristol Myers Squibb, which is a full CEM customer. That's a new logo we added. Also helping them with their supply chain. Cisco, which is a giant, 75,000 employees, 500 offices around the world. We're protecting all their employees, all their sites. That's another new CEM deal we won in Q1.
Well, look, I think you're doing terrific. Unbelievable growth and fantastic guidance. I'm glad someone gave guidance. I want to thank David Meredith, the CEO of Everbridge. Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me, Jim. Thank you.
Now, this is a company that was basically set up for this moment. Mad Money's back after the break.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.